Hmm. Okay, Cal might be right. YouTube streaming is kind of sucks. All right, shut up, music. Woo. Okay. So I'm trying something a little different today. YouTube. Hmm. My old home. My old home YouTube. Back where it all began. I just wondered about trying out some YouTube stuff because I feel like everyone I know is on YouTube. Yeah, I guess so. Sorry, I'm just looking at our chat now. Is the chat actually working? Are we actually seeing that on the screen as well? Sort of, sort of. It's a real lag, quite a lag. Hmm. It's not updating it. I see. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that sucks about the YouTube stuff. There seems to be quite a lag between what you're seeing in the chat and what I've got. God, I look like a demented Santa Claus, don't I? Wow. It's like I always play these weird eccentric characters. This is a secret test. It's totally a secret test. I agree. I have no idea what's going on. I'm going to attempt to make this work. Cal's going to kill me because I haven't even figured out how to do the mod thing yet. Who I've got to say hi to? Well, Chubster, Datalore TV, Matt W, Roger 88 Faction, Darameja, Randy the Magic Man. Yes, it is ominous keyboard typing, isn't it? Datalore, who else we got in here? New Gamer. Yes, it is the guy from Cube. I love that movie too, I gotta say. Even though, as always, with every Vincenzo movie I ever do, Vincenzo Natali movie, I always end up coming back with some new injury of some sort. So, oh god. All right. Oh, that's better. That's a much better look. That's sort of a Doc Brown madness look. I like that. Hello from the UK, Matt W. How are levels? How are levels? I don't even know how to get Discord to work on. Oh God, I don't know how this works. Stupid YouTube. I had every intention of like trying to stream yesterday. That was my plan. Was to stream yesterday, and I just to sort of set it up, and I didn't. So hey, check this out by the way. The Levels Cup. So I just did a film called Levels, and the fabulous producer Tony, his wife, makes these cups. It's the best for mugs of tea, especially in the afternoon when you're feeling a little grim like me. Mmm. Doesn't that sound delicious? Okay, Ribbit, love the hair. Thank you. Good. As long as my hair works, that's really all it matters about, isn't it? It's all about how you look. Everyone's partying for the king's birthday in the Netherlands. God, there's so much debate about this whole royalty thing, isn't there? Like because they've got that, geez, surprise, surprise, old inappropriate white guy that's going to be king again. I shouldn't say inappropriate. I don't know if he's inappropriate, but he's just. Well, I think he is inappropriate, but not in a sexual way. I mean, just watching the guy deal with the people who work for him was just there was a video of him moving a pen around and getting all ticked off with the guy because the guy who moves the pen didn't put the pen in the right place or something. It just felt completely out of touch and out of time. I listened to a little debate about royalty, and I think my my favorite guy talking about it was Billy Bragg, this wonderful singer who talks like this sort of thing. I mean, he doesn't talk like that. He has an accent, and I'm doing a terrible job of whatever accent he has. But it was just kind of funny because he's talking like, he said, well, we should turn that into a library. You know what I mean? Like, it was just this wonderful, like, sense of like, look, do they need this many homes? And if they need this many homes, maybe we could just have a couple of them and use them for the general good as opposed to just for their use. Anyways, I did not plan on talking about royalty. Who brought that up? Who's put me down that rabbit hole? I am my wife is not a monarchist, but she sort of loves the pageantry of it all, partially because she grew up very well, basically very poor, in a one-bedroom apartment above a theater in London, England, which was right across the street from Buckingham Palace. So even though her parents had no money, they were this sort of Christian organization thing that they sort of donated. They basically just worked for free for this thing, to do the Lord's work, and so she went to school with all these people who worked at the palace, and so I don't know, she finds it all very charming. I guess because it's the Canadian in me, the Canadian / American in me that sort of just doesn't. you know, doesn't I don't know, the royalty thing just makes no sense to me at all. Oi oi. Hello Opal Mist. What have we got? A great English accent. That was the most generic English, not really. I just moved to New Zealand. Oh, that's where my wife is right now. Right now. I don't know if you can hear that sort of sucking sadness coming from my soul. That's because my wife is currently in New Zealand. Hello from France. Bonjour, Sam Logan. Comment ça va? I need to come here more often. All this geeking out I'm missing out on. Yeah. We're geeking out about royalty, whatever that means. Space royalty. Now that I'm into. I throw a few monarchs into space. I like the sound of that. Well, don't throw the ones we've got. But the idea of like some kind of space royalty coming down and saying hello is kind of like that. All right. So what am I talking about today? Got a few things. I got a bunch of things to rant and rave about, but I have been playing with Coursera. So Coursera is this. I don't know how legit it is. I mean, it seems pretty legit, and it's got a bunch of companies that do courses on it. I'm almost completed this wretched Google analytics course, and I've been talking about this for ages because I got at the end, the last thing to do was you had a choice of two paths, and of course 2 paths diverge into yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So I didn't want to do the quote unquote, well, it's not an easier track, but the standard track, which was like you're supposed to take the data that they've got and present the presentation that they've asked for. But I'm like, I don't care about widgets in Wisconsin or whatever the hell the thing was about. So I wanted to take the other track, which is you find your own data source, you come up with your own analysis, and you create a presentation around that instead of something that they've already sort of put together for you for the purposes of learning. And I never take any of these courses for certificates or anything. I don't give a crap about that stuff. I just want to know. I want to know in my head that I know how to do this stuff. So, of course, by the time I finish it, I'll have forgotten everything that I've learned. But that's not the point. The point is that I went down this rabbit hole because I went to numerous different possible sources. I was looking at, could I analyze Stargate scripts and pull out, get it to, I don't know, analyze the IQs of the people talking, something like that. Who had the most leadership qualities, that kind of stuff. I was looking for different fun, silly ways that I could use the Stargate material for it because my friend Lawrence was good enough to provide a sort of a data set for me or multiple data sets that he'd used for his AI Stargate stuff. Amazing guy, lovely guy, Lawrence Moroney, fantastic guy, works at Google, and is a writer in his own respect, in his own royalty. He's also it's a lovely guy. Anyways, point being is, so I looked at that data and I worked with that for a little while, and I was like, I just don't know what am I going to do with this? What am I, what is the final product that I'm going to put out there? I mean, because I want something funny or silly or useful to me. So then I started looking at escape rooms because I've got this whole sort of idea of using escape room building designing, building, engineering, and then solving. I have that as, I think it's a wonderful system for teaching everything from, I was going to say STEAM or STEM, but the reality is for teaching in general. As an educational tool, I think the idea that you could create, you can create escape rooms around history, around biology, around, whatever you want. They're literally limited by your imagination only. So I just thought there was many, many fun ways in there, and I'm trying to put together something to make that more of a sort of a cohesive kind of a educational thing that we can pursue with Tech Bandits. But so I started looking at escape rooms. I started pulling details about escape rooms from the web, and of course that is very time consuming. So I turned to programming, which I love. So I turned to Python, which I'm not particularly familiar with, but I thoroughly love the sound of. Python, if you don't know, is just a fantastic. I would almost call it a scripting language, but I guess it's a programming language in its own right. But it has all these wonderful different libraries that you can bring in and that allow it to do all these wonderful things. So I started doing a bit of scraping of escape room data to see if there was something I could look up there. Then I was like, well, all I'm getting is a list of freaking, I got a list of freaking escape rooms. Big freaking deal. Way done. Well, way done, David. so I wanted to do, and I was looking for something again. What am I going to analyze in that? Like, oh, where there's the largest concentration of them? Who are the most popular ones? I mean, like, there's, there were things, but there were also websites out there that I felt that were doing that much better than I could ever do. So I finally settled on this. I found this data set of Canadian science fairs, science fair projects, and I suddenly went, wait a second, this is cool. Could I look at previous science fair data and analyze it and see what the kids cared about? Like, what in 2007, what was the most, the most, populous topic in these science fairs, and could we track changes in that through the years up until 2022 or 21? I can't remember exactly where the data goes to. The problem is the data is in different formats, and so of course I turned to Python, and I've been having so much freaking fun with this, getting it to go through all these old online directories and just pull the data that I want. I don't want any data about the kids. I don't want to know who they are or what they look like or that kind of stuff. So I just want to pull data that was completely anonymous. So it's just the data about the projects themselves and potentially the province and the level of their entry, like whether they're junior kids or middle school kids or senior kids or whatever. So just pulling basically anonymous data. And it's like a treasure trove, because all of a sudden I'm going like, wow, I want to do what they call, I guess it's sentiment analysis, where you can take all the text in these things and just analyze it, and it'll these wonderful libraries will help you figure out what the sort of the talking points are, what people are talking about, what's important to them. And a lot of the work of figuring out what words to pull out and what words to look for, combinations of words and stuff. It's all being done for you with these libraries. But just to get a sense of it, what I did was I did a word count. So I pulled all this data, like thousands and thousands. I think it's the total. I'm running another one because I want to pull the data in a slightly different format. It was something like 6,000 entries. I think it's about 6,000 entries. And so I ran it all through Python, and I couldn't believe, on this little M1 laptop that I have, I couldn't believe how fast it could sort this information and tell you what words were standing out as particularly popular and stuff. So just amazing. My next thing is I want to put it into some graphs, because I'm an idiot and I like to look at things. So reading's for them academics. I wanted to see in chart format what's going on. So I'm really, really enjoying this. And I think a big part of this sort of deep dive that I've been doing is that what I love about it is that this is how I learn, is by just finding a silly, stupid thing to cling to and just follow it down the rabbit hole. And so I've gone from Google Analytics, everything from presenting data to bias in data to R and R Studio, which is kind of basically a programming language for analytics. And it just it sort of mentioned Python, but didn't use Python. So of course I wanted to learn Python. So I start get some Python going. And I've been using ChatGPT to rubber duck this stuff. Rubber ducky, I don't know what the term is. The term of like trying to bounce ideas off it. So I'll go to ChatGPT and I'll go like, hey, I want to find, I've got a table of information here. I want to find only the things that show up on the right side of that table. How do I do that? And it'll show you some ideas. And you're like, oh, that's a good idea. And you start, it almost never works straight. Well, sometimes they do work straight out of the cut and paste. But for the most part, you find yourself going through and just changing the code yourself. But it's just fascinating. So I'm looking forward to one day when I'm older and grayer, having some kind of a presentation to show people that talks about, what kids, the changing perspective of kids in science and what they're interested in, what they're focusing on. So certainly in Canada, anyways. If someone could find a good data source of this stuff in the States, it'd be nice to do the whole of North America. It'd be really, really fun. Or if there's other countries, if anyone finds anything cool, by all means, let me know. And as I say, one of the greatest joys I get is is automating this process. So I've been using Python, a plugin called Selenium, which basically automates the process of using your browser. So it pops open the browser window and you get it to click things and wait for things. It's just, I mean, it's like watching a robot controlling your screen. It's fantastic. And then, of course, there's this thing called Beautiful Soup, which I just like saying, Beautiful Soup. And what it does is it makes things pretty. It basically allows you to dump a page of HTML and then say, give me the fifth tag and the second table and the information that's in that. And it's just, oh my God, it's so great at pulling stuff out. Again, someone's done most of the work for you. Once you learn the syntax for this stuff, it is amazing what you can do. And I'm sure there are a million people out there who are like, yeah, of course, Hewlett, I've been doing it for years. Well, sorry, I've been pretending to be genius for years, and I got a lot of catching up to do. So there you go. Can you tell us what you think about the latest development regarding the topic of UAPs and UFOs? It's a good topic. I was actually just recently got a lovely email from someone at a science center somewhere in the prairies that is doing an evening of talking about this and wondered if I could join them. I'm hoping I can, because it sounds like a lot of fun. But that is the discussion: is life beyond Earth. I am absolutely convinced that we are not alone in this universe. I think that was the most ridiculously, the idea that we are alone in this entire in the universe, which we can't even perceive of. The fact that we could be so arrogant to ever think we were alone in this just seems ridiculous to me. So I would say yes, absolutely. There's other life out there. The caveat I would say to that is, in a weird way, I feel like our first contact will be more with Transformers than they will be with E.T. And I'll tell you why. I think that's the case. Because I can't imagine any, and again, I'm sure maybe they exist. I mean, who knows? There's so many possibilities out there. But in my narrow understanding of this, if we're looking for, human-like aliens, what are we going to run into first? We're going to run into those automatic, those old ships, it's all the old, Voyagers and stuff. We've got all of these autonomous vehicles going out to search for things. That's what we're going to see first. So, and I think just given the nature of faster than light travel and the difficulties of that and just the cost associated with it, and also just at some point we're going to realize throwing bags of watery flesh into space is very, very inefficient. We should just send robots that can beam this stuff back to us, and we can remotely explore, because I think that just makes far more sense. I think we should be focusing on other things than just the ego of throwing mankind into space. Although a lot of it probably has to do with sovereignty. Is that right? Sovereignty, is that the right term? Where you go and you plant a flag and say, this part of the moon is mine, which is stupid. Which we've done here, because the reality is, people talk about going to other planets and colonizing other planets, and the word colonization, generally not a great reputation right now. But more importantly, if we couldn't make it work on the planet that was designed for us to live on, like literally a little beautiful blue and green little sphere that has everything we could possibly want on it. If we've screwed that up so badly, you think we're going to be able to go and create another planet that's viable, that's going to keep us going? I mean, eventually, yes, but I think only if we get stuff sorted here first. So maybe not first, but I think we need to get ourselves as a species figured out before we start trying to even. I mean, look what's going to happen. We're going to go to Mars. There's going to be the United Russian Federation section of Mars, and there's going to be the Republic of China section of Mars, and there's going to. I mean, then what are we going to do? I remember like hurling moon rocks at each other. I sound like such an old man. But I just feel like we're screwing up the planet that we have that was perfect for us. And we have the arrogance to think that we're going to go off and populate other planets before we figure out how to get along better. Anyways, so very long-winded answer. But yes, I absolutely believe there is There's life out there, and I look forward to meeting the giant robots that they send as emissaries. Basically my little piece on that. But just that the first humans that any alien race is going to meet, if we go to them, or the first human technology is going to be robotic. It's not going to be human anyway. So we've got whatever we send out there has got to be capable of telling whoever we're showing up to meet that we are not going to blow them out of the sky, which we are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're like a bunch of angry old men like me who just like, hey, get off my lawn. Like that's our approach is going to be our approach unless we sort things out. So, if our robots just go plowing through as if we're the only important thing in the universe, then obviously that is going to get any alien life's hackles up, aren't they? So I just feel like we've got a lot to work out before we start sort of pushing too far. Anyways, what do we got? Wow. I'm of the view we're more liable to destroy ourselves before the first contact. I mean, Opal Mist, I hope that's not the case. I feel like we are a fragile race, but we're also a resilient race of little beings. So I have a feeling that even if we nuke ourselves, we're still going to be little bands of us running around who can eventually develop. But I mean, again, what does develop mean anymore? Like, I don't even know what is the sign of success as a race? Is it just building and consuming and then leaping to another planet? Is that actually success? Or maybe the dolphins just have it right, swimming around, making funny noises and eating fish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like potentially the sign of intelligence is not going and wrecking other portions of our solar system as we go. So, anyways. All right. Has anyone from MGM Amazon asked you about a return as Rodney McKay? No, that would be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think there's been a lot of back and forth about a new Stargate recently. It sort of flares up, I find, every so often. Usually Malazzi says something, and then everyone runs with it. But I think, well, first off, I'm an actor. I'm the last person who's going to hear anything. I mean, I'll get a call the week before they're shooting, going like, "Oh, by the way, would you be available?" So I'll be the last person to know. I think it would be utter madness for Amazon not to pursue it. And I've heard recently that they were talking about developing those franchises. But at the same time, I feel like, God, they didn't do it during the heyday of this stuff when they were making all this crappy stuff and at huge budgets with huge names. And they didn't do Stargate. I was like, what are you, crazy? So now that things are becoming a little bit more, maybe they're slightly more austere in the way they're approaching filming now. The sort of that initial bubble of streamers is started to decrease in size. So the budgets are getting a little smaller. They're getting a little bit more like, should we spend that much? I feel like, I feel like it doesn't make it easier to happen now. But I again, at one point, Stargate was a bigger franchise for MGM than the Bond series was. So, and we're a lot cheaper. I'll tell you that. All right. What else we got? I think they're going for the reset button for Stargate. That's what I heard. Yeah, probably. I would think so. I mean, why wouldn't they? Like, it's just they get to announce a new Stargate. They get all new people. That makes sense. Maybe the odd person shows up and goes like, huh, I remember Stargate. That could be me. I would be the voice I'd do too. I could be the 10,000-year-old Rodney McKay again, just grumpy. My pitch. I've pitched this a million times to anyone who will listen. I think you do Stargate Academy. You get to bring back any and all of the old guard, including myself, of course, and you set them up as faculty. So basically, Sam Carter is the principal. I am like the Snape-like vice principal. You can bring in all of your other characters as and when you need them, and then you get your young, sexy, diverse crowd of people that all TV's looking for now. So they get a nice combo of the two. That would be that seems like I'm sure there's millions of better ways of doing it, but to me that just seems like a great setup. You can base it on Earth like Stargate was. Stargate was fantastic. It was you get to talk about what's happening in today's world which to me was one of the appeals. You get to play on the whole new rebooting idea of like, oh, new people have been invited and they're kids and they're all excited about Stargate. So, I just, plus also I just love the idea of playing Potter. I could be like, the idea of being Snape, a Snape-like teacher who's just I wouldn't be that cool, of course. I'd be more like, I don't know, Mad-Eyed Moody or whatever the name is. But anyway, that's my pitch for it. I think that would be the absolute way to do it because you just get the best of all worlds that way. So, all right. Actually, all episodes, including your sister, were the best. I would say the ones that didn't have my sister in it were probably better. Any episode that has a lot of McKay, I felt were probably the best episodes. McKay as Snape sounds awesome. Snape like McKay. Like what would McKay be like as a teacher? He'd be the worst freaking teacher ever. And I just think that would be hilarious to watch. Sam Carter, bro, she'd be fantastic. Like, God, she'd be so empathetic, and she could talk to everybody, and she'd be good at managing the whole. That's my pitch right there. Ronan comes back. Ronan and Taylor come back to teach gym. They come in and teach fighting and stuff. Paul McGillian's there to feed the turtles. You got Beckett teaching biology. That'd be freaking hilarious too. He's got like his turtles I just think it's just gold. It's gold. Put it out there. Somebody tell Amazon. All right. Hello from Hungary. Hello. I've been to Hungary. I was married to a Hungarian. Yeah. I won't do that again. But it happened. All right. So I've got questions. Here. First off, well, no, let me say a couple things first. So normally I would be doing this on Twitch, and I apologize to all of my Twitch folks for not being on Twitch this week. And I very much thank them for all of their subscriptions and everything. I just wanted to try and experiment because that's me. It's working. Let's break it. And I just wanted to try. I wanted to see where things sat in the YouTube world because I had a feeling that most people from the Stargate days knew me from YouTube. They knew me from Stargate, but they were familiar with the YouTube side of stuff. And I wanted to see if maybe there was a better audience. Although, everything seems to be working. God, I'm making horrible burping noises because I drank my tea too fast. I haven't even started on my fizzy drinks yet. Do you think Jason would come back to the part? Well, I mean, if it's Amazon doing it, maybe, even if Apple's doing it, even better. God, Apple make cool stuff, I gotta say. Anyways, Shepard, who actually got into Mensa. Yeah, there you go. It's a nice change to see this on YouTube. Oh, good. All right, very good. YouTube is also a nice streaming platform. Yeah, I mean, hello, Jack Jasper, by the way. Everyone should be watching Jack Jasper, by the way. Jack Jasper, a brilliant artist. Please go follow. He's got great streams. He actually does stuff on his streams. I just babble. He actually does cool things. Although I did try one thing the other day. Watch this. Check this out. This is not pretty. So this is a ridiculously new laptop. This is an Asus. I have done everything I possibly can to revive this thing now because, allegedly I might have spilled something on it. And I sprayed it out. I cleaned it with contact cleaner. I've done everything I can imagine to make this thing work. I'm going to do one last go at it. I'm going to pull off the back again. I'm going to check all the connections and just see. I would just love to fire this up and save myself some money because for the time being, because I'm looking at upgrading this baby right here. It's like, look, I'd love to. I just feel weird spending so much money on a freaking computer just because I want to do some Unreal Engine stuff. So the whole point of getting this piece of crap was to have a proper PC system that I could do things like testing, assistive tech with Gimpy G and stuff, and do some gaming, and then I thought for Unreal Engine it'd be fantastic. But I seem to have done something. What I sent this in to get it fixed because I tried everything I couldn't figure it out. Got a little nervous about screwing it up further, so I sent it into Asus to get it fixed. And they sent it back and said, yeah, no, they didn't send it back. They sent a little email back saying, no, we can totally fix it. It's $2,900 or whatever it is. I'm like, I spent $1,500 on it. I bought this thing for $1,500 on special, and now you're telling me it's like $3,000 to fix it, and I get it back in the old crappy case it was in anyways. So I was like, well, screw you. Give me my damn thing back. So I got them to send it back, and I've been working on it. But I have a feeling I have either left it too late and the corrosion is just too bad, or I've truly done a terrible number on it and it's never going to work again. So I have been convinced that it's not worth getting a gaming laptop and that I should get a desktop. So my son. I don't think my son will forgive me if I don't do a desktop build. So that's the plan. I've been looking at some stuff. There's some good deals. Like Best Buy had like a 4070 Ti. 4070 Ti. I think it was a 4070 Ti for like $1,200. That's Canadian. That's like $1 American. So and Lord Chunky, one of our Old Tech Bandits, was giving me some tips on what to get as well. And of course Malventano. But anyways, so that's done. Bye. I'm gonna try one more time at it, as I say. Crack it open, have a look. But it doesn't seem to be. It's like dead as a doornail. It's as dead as my career. All right. What do we got? No 470s. No 4070s? What? 4070 Ti, though. Isn't that good? Or is it 480 Ti? Do I mean 480 Ti? 4080 Ti? What do I mean? 480 above only. Really? Oh. It just depends on how much money to spend, right? I mean, I'm trying to be, fiscally responsible, partially because my wife won't let me spend any money. PC building is like adult Lego, just more expensive if you break them. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Baz raised a really good point. He's like, how long have you had these desktops? I've had them forever. Like, I run them forever. The laptops last maybe 2 years before I spill something on them or they become obsolete or whatever. So 4090s would be great. Yeah, wouldn't it? I mean, everyone says get a 4080 or better. Look, dude, no one has to tell me to spend a shed load of money on this stuff. I'm all for that. Woohoo! Let's go. I just don't have the money to spend. So I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be frugal about this. Also, Lord Chunky is very good at pointing me at things that are good enough and budget sensible. Because, again, people are very kind. This is possible, because I'm an idiot and enjoy doing this stuff, but also because we've got Patreons and subscribers and all that kind of stuff who've donated hard-earned money, and I want to make sure that if I'm buying stuff for Tech Bandits, the money's being spent properly. I think it would be more fun for people probably to watch me screw up another PC build, don't you think? Isn't that maybe what if I did a live stream build? That'd be like 14 days long. It took me so long last time. Anyways, Luis Rossman. I don't know who that is. Get a 3090 Ti if you can find one. Yeah, I'd love to, except the 3090 Ti's are more expensive than the 40 series right now. I don't know why. I guess there's something good about them that I don't know about. Computer repair guy on YouTube. All right, I'll look him up. I'm looking him up now, in fact. Look at that. In fact, I'm going to go to my other computer right now. I'm going to log in with my finger. I love doing that. And I'm going to turn off the script that's still running in the background, trying to pull data about Canadian science fairs. Okay, let me go and start this baby up. Okay, so ChatGPT, I do love you. All right, who's this guy's name? Is Luis? What do we say? Luis Rossman. Luis Rossman, YouTuber. Okay, there we go. I'm looking him up right now. I discuss random things of interest to me. Hey, I do that too. We should be best friends. This is and always will be my personal variety show. I teach MacBook component level logic board repair. Ooh, that's kind of cool. That is cool. Okay. He's in New York City. Oh, what's he doing there? Wow. Washington Right to Repair. Oh, he's done lots of stuff. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Right to Repair. What the hell? You don't want me to hack the things that I bought with my own good money? Forget it. All right. Let me go see if I've got anyone hanging in the wings here, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to get this to work because as I say, I've futzed with things, which I probably shouldn't have done. I've been futzing with things. Have I been futzing with the right things is the question. Tech Bandits. Live voice data. Is that it? Live voice chat? Is that where I am? Try maybe later. Okay, there you go. All right, good. No, sounds like I'm all right for the time being. Sounds like I'm clear for now. I wonder I wonder, Wanda. I wonder if I may not have put it into the chat today that I'm doing it. I may not have put it in the Discord chat. Yeah, I probably forgot to do that now I think about it. I've been doing my email of awesomeness, and it's been pretty cool. I'm not even sure that I've got this connected properly. All right, we'll see what happens. I'll leave this going, and we'll see if anybody drops in. Let me see. Video and voice. Make sure I'm default. Output device should be the razors. Okay, very good. And very good. All right. What time is it now, too? Okay. So I've done this email of awesomeness this week. Once again, another fabulous email of awesomeness. And if you haven't signed up for that, you should absolutely do that. Please freaking do. Oh, wait a sec. None of my... Whoa. None of my chatbot things will work, will they? Does that mean I have to put in, like, real links myself? Ugh. Horrible. Let me see if I can do this. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I'm going to my channel, which is live now. There you go. That's me live. Yay. I'm going to turn myself off because I've got noise. I'm going to close that. I'm going to say, here we go. Okay, so things that I wanted to get people to look at. What's the Discord? Oh, don't worry about it. It's just for Tech Bandits. It's just for the kids. All right. techbandits.org. I'm going to put this link in the chat now. Please, did I get it right? Please go and sign up for the email because I just don't know how long I'm going to be doing social media. It's driving me freaking nuts. I've been on Twitter recently, and it's just, Twitter, my love. I loved you, Twitter. I have met so many cool people from Twitter, so I'm very reticent to give it up. But it is just, I don't understand it anymore. Like, it's become... I don't understand the blue thing, the check mark thing, or it doesn't, it's random. He's handing them out to people, whether they want them or not, claiming that they're paying for them. I used to be a huge Elon Musk fan. Huge. I mean, he's a nerd like us, right? I was such a huge fan. Now he's got all weird. What happened to him? I don't know why he got all weird. You should just stick to being a nerd and stop being a rock star. Rodney Gaming, that'd be good. Malazzi is on it 24/7. What's he on? He's on what, Twitter? Malazzi's always been big on that stuff. He loves all that. He loves all that social media stuff. So do I. I mean, to be fair. Hampshire in the UK, jolly good. Hampshire, by the way, the UK is, I've been told by my son that I'll be moving there in 2 years. So apparently in 2 years, I'm making the move back to Warwickshire, and where I will be living in my father... he's dead now, unfortunately, but Don's old house. And I'm going to get a pig, I'm going to get a tractor, and I'll be streaming from there. That'll be much more adventurous. It'll be fascinating. It'll also be really slow internet unless I figure something out. So someone figure out how to get really, really high-speed internet into Warwickshire, would they? That'd be great. Am I planning on directing another movie? Not really. If I do another movie, I want to do it like on an iPhone. Like, I really am sick and tired of the bureaucracy and the stupidity and all the people involved in making films. I love the people being involved in making films, but I just find it's just so stupidly complicated when the reality is we're walking around with a movie studio in our pockets. You know what I would like to do very, very much is I'd like to start maybe a little sort of acting / directing / writing online workshop thing that we could do, because I just think it'd be really great to... I've got a bunch of stuff that bothers me about the industry, and I get asked all the time how to get into it, whether as a writer or a director or as an actor, mainly as an actor, because frankly, that's what I love. I mean, look, I love all aspects of it, to be honest. Acting, I think, is what I'm best at. I'd love to be a brilliant writer or a brilliant director, but I think the only thing I get close to with brilliant is acting, and usually it's because I'm pretending to be brilliant. But that said, it's something that I feel comfortable with. I enjoy doing. I feel like I can contribute with that. The writing is more difficult. It's one of those things I've only done when I had to do it. But and it's also, the whole idea of the workshop thing is also a money thing as well. I just think it'd be just great to have a little source of income that can help me continue doing sort of the Tech Bandit stuff and stuff. I mean, I feel weird. Look, I love that people want to support the Tech Bandit stuff. It's fantastic, but I also would love to have. I've always sort of been fascinated by online businesses, and the idea of having like some kind of an online film school thing would be just really fun. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there. It'd have to be very niche, very specific, and I think it would just be about how to sort of avoid, how to get into Hollywood by avoiding Hollywood, that kind of thing. So, do you watch YouTubers talking about shows and movies? Yeah, Retired Millennial. I do absolutely. You're a bit quiet on the mic there. What have I done? Am I not talking into the mic enough? You should turn your volume up too. I have wondered why people have not tried to drama or sitcom shows on YouTube. I'll tell you why they haven't, Easy Sparky. And I've played with this quite a bit. It's really time consuming to create shows and edit them. Well, to conceive them, to write them, to shoot them, to post production, edit them, and finish them. And then promote them. It's incredibly time consuming, and frankly, it costs a lot of money. As soon as you start involving lots of people, and if it doesn't cost a lot of money, it takes a lot of time. So, I've watched people try to basically kill themselves trying to create original content every single day, or every single week, or even every single month. And I think you need a team of people for that. They all need to be on the same page. I don't work well with others. I wanted things done my way. I'm very particular. I get things done when the ADHD kicks in and I focus. Like this freaking Python stuff. I've spent weeks, absolutely weeks, diving into this stuff. Recently I've been bouncing back and forth between the Python and the and learning lines for this thing that I'm filming this weekend coming up. Again, I'm doing this film because I like the guy who's written and directed it, and he's trying to do it as cheaply and as efficiently as possible. And I just respect that. I like that. I miss the sort of the gritty 16 mil days of run and gun filmmaking. We've got all these tools here, and I feel like all of this bureaucracy has stepped in to try to make it more difficult to make with much easier technology. So yeah, that's my thought about that. So yes, again, a very long-winded answer is that yes, I would love to do some more directing, but I really want to do something very small. I'd love to figure out like a little sci-fi movie. But that sounds ridiculous, right? Like, well, how's that small budget? But do like a Pi or a the Cube still had a budget. But I'm also very interested in this Unreal Engine stuff because I think you could use some of these gaming assets and stuff to create some fun stuff and have some silly fun. So yeah, everyone watching liked. Really? Well, that's good. Is there an acting role you rejected and now regret big time? Well, somewhat, I guess. I was asked to do another season of Dark Matter, and I said no because they just kept refusing to let me direct. And now that I'm not really focusing on directing as much, I kind of wish I'd just taken the part now because it was so much fun. You know what I mean? I thought I was. It was a combination of things, but it was a combination of things, but I was really pushing to do some directing. I was focusing on that. The acting role came up, and and my focus was on directing, and I couldn't get directing out of that gig, so I said no to it. I kind of regret that, I think, to some extent, partially because I can't imagine that poor Malazzi was particularly thrilled about me saying no. I always liked the material, but I just as I say, I was just kind of, I had my blinkers on for the directing side of stuff, and I thought I'm moving away from acting into directing, and having worked with Guillermo del Toro again now, I sort of realized that there is a place for actors. You know what I mean? I've always sort of somewhat disrespected and disregarded actors to some extent as a sort of a necessary evil in the filmmaking process. Guillermo just makes it feel like a team project. You know what I mean? Like he made me love acting again, and that went a long way. So if you see me in stuff nowadays, I'm doing it because I like doing it. And that's I would say almost squarely because of the fabulous maestro Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, he just it was extraordinary. Working on Shape of Water, I suddenly realized that there was a level of filmmaking where people loved what they did and worked like the little students that we were when we got into this stuff. I mean, I was making films with Vincenzo, who did Cube and does The Peripheral now. I've been working with him since we were 13. We did Cabinet of Curiosities together as well, a bunch of stuff. But for a while there, I just did everything he did. But our lives, you go off and I'm in Toronto, he's filming in London. There's all sorts of stuff. But anyways, and that's what I love doing. And going back and doing this freaking ridiculously huge Guillermo movie. For some reason, I started drawing again on set. It was magical, absolutely magical. I owe that man, I owe that man a lot. Okay, Arc TV series has an opposite McKay character, Alicia Nevins. Overly nice. Do you watch the show? I do not. I don't watch anything anymore. I'm terrible. Jonathan, is it really sci-fi? It doesn't get canceled before is it really? It's true. Yeah. He got you blood going again. What's that? Who's got my blood going again? What? All right. Did you want to be part of Travelers? Oh, I would do anything that Brad does. I think Brad's just a brilliant writer. Absolutely brilliant writer. Big ups. Frosty Nipples. Big ups from Frosty Nipples. That's just what I want to hear today. I needed that. Okay, so it'd be interesting to see Guillermo del Toro act. I think he was an actor, or I think he had thoughts about being an actor when he was younger. I have to check on that. But the sense I get, but in a way, I think because he didn't, he actually likes actors. I'm not sure that actors generally like actors, but well, maybe other actors do, but I don't. I tend to avoid actors and just I like talking to writers and directors and all the technical people, because the technical stuff is far more interesting to me than all the artsy crap. But again, I come from acting from a completely different perspective than a lot of other people do. Most people got into acting to act. I got into acting because we were making films together. So I never saw acting as any different than the guy holding the boom or all that. I mean, I'll take any status I can get from the acting, absolutely, I'm a total hypocrite. But at the same time, deep in my heart, I don't feel like any of it happens without anyone else. So there's a certain sort of imposter syndrome, I guess I feel on set, where it's like, I never liked the term, we need bring the talent to set. It's like the talent's already on set. We're just the idiots who say the lines. You know what I mean? Anyways, I did, Tobias Tormeyer. I wrote some Stargate stuff with ChatGPT when it first came out. I should run it again. It was good. It was actually good, because people keep, one of the favorite questions that I get asked all the time is what do you, are there any episodes that you wish you'd been able to do that you couldn't do as, during the show? And the one that I always say is Evil McKay. I always wanted to do Evil McKay. We got to do Rod and Rodney. It was fantastic. But imagine doing that with an Evil McKay. That would be cool. So I had ChatGPT write one for me, which is fantastic. There you go. Maybe I'll do a little reading of that one day. Okay. Would you go back to Stargate if Joseph asked with the recent renewal rumors? Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Yeah. Are you kidding? McKay's the best character ever written. It's certainly the best character I've ever played. I freaking love him. I'd do him in a shot. In a second, even if I couldn't direct. All right. So what do we got? What do you think Atlantis Universe could have gone had they not been canceled? SGU had so much potential. Yeah. I mean, yeah. SGU was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Beautifully acted. Beautifully written. Beautifully. The production design was beautiful. I mean, they put a lot of money into that. But I think the problem that they had was it was tonally, it was so different than all the other Stargates before it. I think they would have probably been better served to keep the other shows going while they did a season of that, and people would have enjoyed it as a compliment. And then like Atlantis did. Atlantis showed up and everyone was terrified we were going to boot out SG1. Look, they can't just bring these jerks in and replace SG1. I mean, I remember that, and I always said, that part of the success of Atlantis was that we were an accompaniment to SG1, not a replacement for it. And I feel like, understandably, for the writers and producers who've been working on the same show for God knows how many years, they wanted a break. They wanted to do something different. I totally get that, but it doesn't necessarily mean the audience is gonna follow it. So, and as I say, Stargate, Atlantis certainly, and SG-1 before it or along with it, we're just a little bit more family. Well, a lot more family actually. SGU was a lot more edgy. It was really cool. I mean, I thought it was fantastic. But at the same time, it was difficult to, I think, for people to make that jump from one type of show to another. So, all right. Were you ever approached to do Stargate audios? I was. I suck at audiobooks. I would love to read nonfiction books, especially science books. If there were nonfiction, if I would do audiobooks till every hour of the day, if I could be reading, cool books about science. I never listen to narrative audiobooks. I can't do it. It drives me nuts. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't want to hear voices when I read a book like that. I've never been a fan of audio dramas and stuff. I want to see a movie, or I want to read a novel, or I want to hear an audio, nonfiction. Which I love. I love the nonfiction audio stuff. Audible, all my entire library is all just nonfiction stuff. I've just finished a book that took me forever to get through, but was Life on the Edge, which is this fabulous book about possible quantum and biology connection. If there is a quantum biology, there must, the suggestion is that there is. Voyager wasn't as dark as SGU, but I see the connections. Voyager wasn't as... Oh, it's there. I see they're talking about themselves. They're talking amongst themselves. I love it when the people talk amongst themselves. That's good. That's a good sign. I feel like that sort of creates a community. Where are we at? Do we get any... I can't believe I'm not going to miss... There's no way I'm going to miss ViPup. Am I this week? No. Someone better get in touch with ViPup. Let them know. All right. What have I done? Have I just changed the window? God, I can't never get this right. Okay. Same here. It's the ADHD. What's this? Yeah, my ADHD. I was diagnosed with ADHD, which is so funny. It was to me, it was a strange kind of epiphany. To everyone else who's ever known me, there was absolutely no surprise. I do think it's got worse as I've got older. Absolutely. I was always crazy. Or maybe I just realized that it may not be always as charming as I thought it was when I was younger. Okay. Watched a fun horror movie the other night, by the way, called Moloch. It's kind of cool. It was like one of those like Netherland horrors or whatever it is. One of those sort of Scandinavian horrors. And about these bodies in the bog and stuff. Oh, it's good. Shudder. I'm loving Shudder. I watch Shudder almost every night now. And I watched another one the other night, which was I don't know where it was, like Indonesian or something. I don't know. It was an odd little film about this haunted jungle, which was, it wasn't perfect, but it's really fun to watch horror films from cultures that I'm not aware of. Like, living in my little tower of privilege, or my little basement of privilege. There's all types of people living lives that seem so completely different to me. And it's just so neat to see them, doing a horror, like seeing what they think of as horror. It's actually a lot creepier than our horror in a lot of ways. So anyways, you're getting paid for being crazy. Yeah, as long as I'm getting paid for being crazy, I'm fine with that. Well, that's why Have to use this one for a little bit, see what happens with that. Now, I don't know if you can hear me on... right now I've got the just the camera. Yeah, the mic just completely died. It's just, I think it short-circuited or something. It's so bizarre. Yeah, I have to try another cable. So that's right now I'm using the Razer. I'm using the light. Let me see if I can go back to this one now. All right, let me see if I can find another plug. Tomas has given up. Very wise. Okay, well, damn, we didn't even make it an hour in before I screwed something up. That's amazing. Okay, yeah, I do not know. We can hear you. Yeah, good. Gone again. No audio. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Nope, silence. The mic you are on sounds okay. All right, how are we going? Mic is dead. Batteries. Mics are like printers. Devils. Good to go. All right, give me a thumbs up. Are you hearing? You hearing okay right now? At least just for the time being. I'm checking. Ooh, final episode of C. That'll be great. You wait. There's a real lag between myself and the stream, so we can hear you now. Get back in. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened to the mic. As someone says, it's probably the cable. It's usually the cables. Let me see if I can find another cable that will allow me to play. Let's try this. If I do. Oh, you know what I need though? Yeah. Right. I need a cable that's going to go from. I need one of these bloody things. Okay, what's this one here? How's that? Let's try this. All right. Let's try this cable instead. Man, I get through cables like I get through, red licorice, which is a lot. Terrible stuff, red licorice. Let's see what happens if I do this. Nope. Wrong one. Oh boy. Now what have I done? I pulled that out. All right. Try putting it in here. You guys just talk amongst yourselves. It'll be great. Huh. So weird. It's just bizarre. Yep. That is definitely going to be a pain in the butt. Okay. Can't find the thumbs up. There you go. Farron, thank you very much for the subscription. Thanks everyone else who subscribed, by the way. I might just take a short pause while I go and find another cable. I've got USB cables here. Let me see if I can find one. Oh, these wretched things. Okay. Talk amongst yourselves. You're on your own, kids. Behave. I've got USB minis, micros. USB is going to be at the beginning, isn't it? Nope. Extensions? Nope. Wow. Do I seriously not have any? You must have USB-C. Do I really not have USB-C in here? Wow. I got everything in here except USB-C. How can I not have USB-C? Huh. What if I took it out? These are non-USB cables, so that should be that. Nope. Where else might there be cables? Let's have a look. What else have I got here? No. Huh. USB-C. Where are you, USB-C? I know. Let me see if I can find. I know what I can do. I'll be back in a sec. back it down. All right, let me try this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, and then it's got to be the cable, right? I mean, the likelihood of it being the actual unit itself is so slim. I'm not getting anything. Maybe it's just locked up. Allow access microphone. I'm gonna look at this now. Let's see what else I've got here. See? Don't mess with anything. Do not mess with anything. Yeah, nice try, Remington Ball. Okay. You know what the problem is? When this happens, it's a reboot. So I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna stick with this microphone for the time being. It's not awful. Yeah, no. Like I say, it is most likely a cable, and I've had this cable plugged into it forever. So, wait a second, what's going on here? Of course, my cable management skills are extraordinary. Go to there. I'm going to there. Okay, so we don't want to mess with that because that's definitely going to be. What's this one then? Oh, that's for. No, that's going to be for plugging things in, isn't it? Yeah. I don't think I should mess with that. Okay. And that's that. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to stick with this one for the time being. That's too bad. I love that mic. It better not be busted. That's all I'm saying. It better not be busted, mister. Actually, you know what I might do? Let me try this. See if this works. If I plug this in to... There we go. Let me plug this back into my mic, into the mic port on my Mac. See if that will power it. Aha. So it's not the cable. It's not the mic. It's the wonderful world of Windows. Okay. So let me see if I can change the source somehow here. It seems to be doing odd and bizarre things. I'm going to find the properties. I'm going to find... All right. So we know it works. Okay. Okay. Default you. Don't test it. No, don't test it. Just change it. I don't need you tested, mister. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the other reasons why I want to. I mean, this is actually a good reason to be upgrading. Now I think about it, because I have had a lot of problems with the USB ports on this thing. I mean, admittedly, it's done some great service for a long time, but I have definitely had a lot of problems with the ports on this thing. I wonder if it's the power. Yeah, no, it's just I have a feeling it's a Windows thing. I just don't. Whoa, ho ho! There we go. Oh yeah. Let me do this again. Let's try this. Okay. Yeah. Woohoo! Guess who's back? Okay, I'm back. See? So, and I'm really loud. Sorry. So, it's ports. I can't remember who said it, but it's definitely. I've forgotten that I had so many problems with ports on this PC. I think it's a hand-me-down from my son. I think there was a lot of just like shoving of USB cables in when he was younger, and I have a feeling that I've noticed that some of them get a little sort of folded over, and I'm just gonna have a look, and I can see it right now. Yeah. So the ones, two of them are sort of snapped into. There's a little bar that holds the hole goes into, and they've been sort of shoved over to the side. So it's always the ports. Yeah, you're right, Dark Dragon. Okay, it's always actually it's not true. It's always the cables, and then it's the ports, and then it's just that you broke your Mac or you spilled coffee on it. Okay, let me pop into here. Don't switch. Do not switch anything. Don't you dare switching anything. Oh, it could also be... it might also be Discord. So I've had to shut Discord down. Discord does weird things sometimes on this thing. Okay, Zelenka needs a stern talking to. Oh, yeah, I completely Zelenka that, didn't I? And by that, I mean broke it. And then I McCa'd it by fixing it. Okay, let me go check out my newsletter because I would like to tell you all about it. Okay. Where are we looking now? Bandits. I'm going to look for my tech bandits, and then we will be back on track again. Where did I talk about this? Was it? I wonder if I got this down. Locusts. There was some locust stuff. It's really cool locust stuff. Okay. So slightly misleading my title this week with the poison pigeons, because they're not actually poison pigeons. It was it was this thing I found. I was looking for my son. Bless his little cotton socks. He every day he bugs me. Not every day, like once a week, he bugs me about some kind of a cool science thing that he can share with his class. Which is cute because I mean he's of that age where I'm amazed he's still talking to me at all, and I think he is actually quite interested in some of this stuff. So and I guess he's sort of, because I'm doing the Tech Bandits newsletter. Well, it's not a Tech Bandit. The email of awesomeness that I do every week is he knows I'm doing it, so he just sort of tries to get ahead of it by a little bit by finding out some of the stories I'm doing. But as a result, I've actually started looking more for biology related stuff. I call it squishy science. And this week I'm missing the freaking, I am so ticked off. But by taking this job, unfortunately, I have made myself unavailable to go to the Biohack the Planet conference, which is happening this weekend in Austin, Texas, which I would just love to be at. But, acting. I've chosen acting over science, so now I gotta go do that. So squishy science, which I think is just going to get more and more important. And then when you start mixing squishy science and squishy science by biology, I mean biology, life sciences stuff, and you start mixing that with AI, it's some seriously fun stuff. I had this idea. I was talking to Lawrence actually about this idea. One of the things that they were doing at the Odin, which is the company that does Biohack the Planet, was they were taking belly fat. They were extracting belly fat and then centrifuging off what they didn't want and leaving behind pulling out these stem cells from it. So, stem cells and all the Christian right crap. And the wonderful thing about stem cells is they are pluripotent, so they can turn into a myriad of other cells. That's also why they're incredibly dangerous, because of course you don't want to be injecting yourself with just any old stem cells. You want to make sure that they're not going to suddenly grow a tooth in your lung or something like that. But one of the cool things they were doing is they were taking these stem cells, they were putting them in these cultures, and they were growing them. But then when if some of the cells started to differentiate into the wrong thing, they'd have to go in, they have to get it, they have to scoop it out, they have to then regrow the whole thing to make sure they're just getting the cells they want. And I thought, but ding, AI, visual, using a visual system, you could have a camera on those Petri dishes that just looks for cell division. And as they divide, the AI is monitoring it and comparing it to some kind of a library of information it already has. And then when it saw that a cell was quote unquote going bad, becoming gone rogue. It's gone rogue. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. And it's so if it goes rogue and it becomes a different type of cell that you don't want it to become, if it differentiates itself into something else, I thought it'd be so cool if you had a little pipette that could come in and just go suck it up and get rid of it, or suck it up and put it in another Petri dish, and potentially you could then use the automation to sort of just help, because I can't imagine trying to culture a lot of these things manually, having to check and microscopes, and it would just be kind of cool to have that thing automated. So, so basically it would be a stem cell terminator. That's basically what I was hoping for. So that was something else I was playing with. It's my birthday today. Yeah, no, it's not. It's just not. It's Cal's birthday today, and she doesn't have any modding privileges because I haven't figured out how to do that. Just so you know, just throwing that out there. So I'm looking for squishy bio stories to talk to the kid about. And the one that I stumbled upon, I'm such an idiot. I didn't know this. Did you know that there were poisonous birds? I had no freaking idea there were poisonous birds. I know that birds would, take craps on me while I was walking, and that I thought they were odious. I didn't think they were poisonous. Anyways, there was this whole article about this batrachotoxin, which is a toxin, like a neurotoxin that these little golden tree frogs, dart frogs, they're these, like, they're the most poisonous frogs on the planet. Again, poisonous frogs, who knew? I didn't know about that, to be fair. There's all sorts of stories of people licking frogs and trying to get high, and then there's these poisonous dart frogs and things. Anyways, I did know about that. I did not know that birds had also adapted to use this stuff as well. And these patui birds, they're, what are they called? The hooded patuis, are capable of somehow processing this neurotoxin, and it comes out in their foliage, and in their claws and beaks and things. And it was discovered because these bird nerds were out, tagging these little flapping things, and these hooded patchouli, they've got, they got a good size beak and claws on them, and they got scratched up, and they're like, ooh, ow, and they sucked on the as one instinctively would do. I have no idea why we do that. I imagine there's some survival thing involved there, except that in this case it's not a good one, because then not only did their hands go numb, but their mouths went. It wasn't numb. It was they got tingling and burning and tingling or something. What did they got? I can't remember what they said. It was something about that. It was, yes. So their lips and hands began to burn and tingle, was the quote. Burn and tingle. And then, of course, they asked the locals. They're like, hey, locals. I don't know. The locals are, I'm assuming, the indigenous tribes that were there or whatever. And they're like, yo, yeah. Those are bad birds. Avoid them. And they're like, oh, thanks for letting us know. I was like, dude, just ask in the first place. Anyways, so always a good, why not ask the people who live there before you sort of march in as scientists? It's just do your research, researchers. No, I totally understand that. But I just thought it was kind of funny that the locals are like, yeah, idiots, put the bird down. Yeah, it's this neurotoxin that is infamous from the golden dart frog, which is just the cutest little frog, but you touch it, you can die. And the symptoms are horrible. It's like muscle cramps and cardiac arrest and death, basically death. Now the birds don't pack as big a punch as the froggies do, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. There are birds that do this, and then I was like, are there other birds? And and that's when I learned about the thunder chicken. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like a large order of thunder chicken, please. Actually, I don't, because they're sort of toxic too. They're these ruffled grouse, they're called. And they're this grouse that eats all these toxic, fruits and, not fruits, whatever they are, plants, and passes those beautiful stomach cramps and pain onto you when you eat them. So, yeah, apparently there's been some grouse sickness for hunters who have inadvertently consumed one of these poisoned grouse, and they're basically poisoned because they've eaten the stuff more than anything else. I don't know if they actually produce it. I don't know if they actually sort of exhibit it in their feathers or anything. I think they just literally just ate a freaking poison, and then you ate it. It's like a turducken. It's like a poisoned turducken. Thunder Chicken. I just think someone should do a cartoon called Thunder Chicken. I think can't be worse than a flying monkey. I don't know. Thunder Chicken. Flying monkeys, man, those things were creepy, weren't they? God, they really were. What else do I have to say? So that was my, I couched this under the term poison pigeons. There's another one. There's a bird that has like spikes on its wings that it can jab into you, and it's got some of that poisonous stuff too, which is just kind of cool. I mean, birds are freaking evil. They're just dinosaurs. They're just little evil dinosaurs. It's all, I've never been a big bird fan. My granddad had parrots. Aye aye, and they used to. My granddad always used to say aye aye, and so these birds, you'd walk in a place, aye 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 aye, and then they go. What was the other one that they would say? It would say, it was aye, and then it was Emmy, because Emmy was the name of my granny. My granny's name was Emmy. So basically, it just mocked and derided my granddad the entire time. All right, this is another one. So I think it was the last stream we did. Someone said, "Hey, do you watch Tom Scott?" And I realized I do watch Tom Scott. I just didn't. He's just got the most generic name, so I'd forgotten that he was on my list of things that came up. And sure enough, right away, this is why I love Tech Bandits. Hey, Piss Blitz. That's a great name, Piss Blitz. Right away, this great video about a locust like virtual reality, which is just like they literally hooked this poor little locust up to a rolling ball, and it. And this thing walked around in VR thinking it was hanging out with its friends. And the idea is that they wanted to figure out why these things swarm and how they swarm and how it works. And it's just a great, great video that I am now going to share with you. Because look at this. I can copy the link address and I can paste it into not that. That's not what I want. I'm going to paste it into this. Here we go. No, it's not on Twitch, Kevin McCabe. That's the point. Today I'm trying to do YouTube instead. It's going okay. I mean, is it perfect? No. Jesus, that's a big link. Oh, I know it's a big link because then I get to track it with my mailer light can let me know what's going on. Okay. Mods have the authority. You decide. What? Can I make someone a mod now? How do I make it? Can I make a mod here? Participants. Community moderation. Look at this. Where's Cal? Can I add Cal? I should totally add Cal. Defaults? What? Add a managing moderator. What's a managing moderator? Paste the channel URL of a user to add as a managing moderator. This sounds exciting. This sounds like something I'm going to totally screw up, so I'm going to wait. Okay. What happened to my little stream? Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I guess Cal's going to have to give me her info. And I can add her. Dolphins eat poisonous fish and get high in the process. Those dolphins. See? I told you they got it right. They're just hanging out stoned, swimming around eating fish. Stoner fish. Stonefish. Okay, so newslettery pieces. What have I got? Where's that thing? I got so many damn URLs up. It's kind of crazy. Ba-da-ba-dee-ba-da. There we go. So Tom Scott, that Tom Scott video is kind of cool. Does it work? Let's see if that link actually works. Are you sure you want to leave YouTube? I don't know. Do I? The link is taking you outside of YouTube. Okay, let's see what happens. See what it does. Oh, it does. There you go. Oh, it takes you to... Oh, okay, that's weird. Yeah, so have a look at that video. It's kind of fun. It's literally they're tapping into the spinal cord of these locusts, and then they put like 10,000 of them in a room and filmed them and tracked them with these little dots. These little they had to literally hold this the cute little foam setup where they'd like take a locust and then like wedge it in this little piece of foam, and they'd be like sitting there going like, what the hell? And then you'd stick this like disco sticker on it and then send it back out again, and then they had tens of thousands of these things that they could track. And the idea is that I didn't realize this, but it's like 1 in 10 people on the planet. 1 in 10. 10% of the planet is affected by locusts because they just, when they swarm, they just eat everything. They cause chaos, and and we should, I guess, and we'll be eating them, I'm sure, because that's where that'll be. They're like, look, food from the sky. Okay, link works. Thank you. Good. So there's that. I just thought that was kind of fun. The idea of like a virtual reality for locusts just seems kind of cool to me. All right, what do we got? Thunder chickens, and then my hairy hearing loss. So I talk too loud because I'm deaf. I have a I have an issue with with both of my ears, but my left ear particularly. I was damaged in a Bulgarian stunt action thing. I make it sound so complicated. Doesn't that sound heroic? Yes, I was injured in a Bulgarian stunt accident. No, the idiot decided that it would be funnier and he'd get a real reaction if he didn't tell me that he was going to blow something up. I shouldn't say that. That's not true. That was another movie. That was Scanners 2, where the director thought it'd be funny just to not tell me that they put squibs on the car, because then they'd get a real reaction out of me. That really pissed me off. But no, this one was just that. Oh, that's right. It was the armorer said, no, very small, tiny little pop, type thing. And the idea was, it'll just look like, it's getting shot at, this computer. And I'm in this little tiny cement room, and then they call action, and this thing literally it was like a rifle sound next to my ear, because I'm literally right here, and it was bang, and I couldn't hear for a day after that. So and apparently it's like one of those sci-fi movies where there's a nuclear explosion and then it drops all the trees. It's dropped the little hairs in my ear, so I don't hear very well with my left ear. I sit in restaurants like this, It was funny, before I got it tested, I would crane to hear people with the wrong ear. I'd literally be like, "What? I just can't hear you." And the reality was that until I got my ears tested, I didn't realize it was actually my left ear was the one that was the problem. So, I'm sure the military, there must be a ton of that. Even expecting the sound. Yeah, no, absolutely. So, and this was a little contained explosion in a very contained space. And I didn't know at the time. I thought it was just a temporary thing. I didn't realize it had done permanent damage. But anyways, whatever. I would have ruined it drumming as well. I also drummed as a kid, and I did wear ear protection. But that's still a lot of noise. My dad was always so funny. He would make me wear these giant construction headphones to protect my hearing the whole time. So, all right. I feel really bad that I can't bring the Discord in. So I'm sorry, Tech Bandits, that I'm not able to converse with you. But I'll figure that out next time we do a YouTube thing, or I'll just go back to Twitch and stop all this madness. Although how we do it, so 78 viewers, so it's about the same number of people watching on YouTube as there were on Twitch. I was curious. I wanted to do this sort of as a marketing test to see what the deal was. Obviously, I'd be willing to get used to this again if it's better. I just think the discoverability is better on YouTube. You know what I mean? Anyways, all right. So the hearing loss thing. So basically, what's happened is these science punks have come up with a gene therapy, one of these gene therapy cocktails of some sort, that will allow the cochlea, which are the little hairs that are in there, to regrow, because normally they don't. Once they're damaged, they're done. So apparently they found this little concoction that'll actually get these things growing again, which could potentially solve a lot of issues. I need my ears to be hairy again, so I can. They're hairy, but all in the wrong places. But I just thought, I of course got very excited to that, because I thought, wow, maybe I'll be able to hear again one day, which would be kind of cool. And the other one that came up, which I thought was kind of cool, was I should probably just go to chat and make sure I'm not missing anything, because God knows I'm very good at missing everything. Let's have a look. Let me just see if I'm missing anything in chat here. Do you have any schedule of streaming, or is it just ad hoc? It's pretty ad hoc, but I try to do Thursday afternoons. I'm trying desperately to do Thursday afternoons. Will I be able to do Thursday next week? I will. Yeah. So Thursday evenings is my attempt. But discoverability just for people not with a built audience. There's a certain number of people who are going to be here anyways, I think. Yeah. Me, for example. Your numbers will go way up. It was like, David, this is your first. Nobody knows Twitch was a minor player. Your numbers will go up. Kevin, what do you mean? You mean if I keep streaming on YouTube? Oh, yeah, maybe. Funny thing is, there are ear protection with dampening noise, but you can hear speech very well. Yeah. Look, I'll tell you, the best device that I've got for hearing impairment right now for me is the earpods, those iPhone things. They're fantastic. I just, I can put the phone down and use it as a hearing aid. It's way better than the freaking thousands of dollars of hearing aids that I've got. Is it true the stem cells has mashed fetuses in it? No. Nope. Jaunty. Trying to stir things up, are you? I mean, one of the frustrations is, did you see that Biohack the Planet will be streamed? What? Really? Oh, that's cool. Oh, well then I can. So I have to join Joe's OnlyFans. Do I want to do that? What else is Joe doing on his OnlyFans? I didn't know that. No, I didn't. Thank you, Jim. That's fantastic. Okay. And I will. I'll give you their. Okay. I think, is that the right URL for them? I should just probably, you know what? Let me just look this up first. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, there we go. God, I've got so many URLs open right now. With all of them with Python stuff. Okay, that is the Odin. If you want to go check out the Biohack the Planet, and they're amazing. I love them. I know James is a little cagey on them, but I love them because I don't know enough, probably. Okay, 9 p.m. in Blighty. Is that what it is now? Wow. My wife, who knows what my wife will call, because it's New Zealand. I can never figure it out. She's always going to bed when I'm getting up, and getting up when I'm going to bed. It's just, she goes, I get these little forlorn text messages at like 1 o'clock in the morning saying, if you're up watching Shudder horror movies, give me a text. Say hi. So sometimes she'll catch me watching the movies late into the night, and I'll go, okay, Jane, and I'll call her. You can also get them from bone marrow. Yeah, but bone marrow is a lot more painful. That's the plan. I'm caging on most things, more so about the things I like. Yes, right. I don't know what that means. He's cagey. That James guy. He's a cagey guy. I guess you're not going to Biohack the Planet, James, but you'll watch it. I'd love to watch it. The problem with live streaming it, which is great, I can't be there. That's the problem. Like I can't. I'm working, so I can't. So I need to like record it somehow. Do OnlyFans videos get recorded? I mean, like, could you watch a previous OnlyFans stream? Is that possible? Does anyone know if you can do that? 11 p.m. in Greece. Woohoo! Greece. I've never been to Greece. Always wanted to go to Greece. What do we got? Pretty regular. Okay, what do we got? That is awesome. What do we got? 9 p.m. Portugal. Wow, Portugal. Hey, how you doing? Are you going to upgrade your printer to the MK4? I don't know, Bitbanger. I feel like I'm very happy with the MK3. I've got to say, this is the Prusa 3D printer. I'm very happy with it. Like, do I need to upgrade? Like, I feel like I don't need to. If I was looking at anything right now, I'd be looking at a resin printer, because I'd be fun to be able to do some little sort of biotech prints as well, and also some, Dungeons and Dragons figures and things. 2 p.m. Western Canada. Thank you. It's like a roll call from around the world. What time is it where you are? What else have I got? Czech Republic. Woohoo! Spain, Finland. Wow, look at this. You could OBS record the screen showing the stream. Yeah, that's true. But get audio, Jonathan. I'm subbed but trying not to be a fanboy. I have no problem with fanboys. I'm like, if you want to be a fan of me, I'm very approving of people who love me. Totally accident. I got a notification and the bell wasn't even activated. It is weird, isn't it? Like, it's just very strange the way YouTube works with the activation and stuff. I don't understand how it works. Resin printers are very good at the fine details. Well, that's it. That's why I kind of like to play with that. There's one called a Bamboo, which is apparently quite good too. But I'm pretty loyal to Prusa. I love Prusa. I love Prusa not just because I love the printers. I just love his attitude towards it, which is just a pure, unadulterated love of technology and people. Like, he's just so... He looked after his country during the pandemic. That's how, he converted his operations to save lives. He's a good guy, that Prusa guy. That's why I like supporting not just his printers, but him as well. I love his printers. It's also great that I get to support him when I buy this stuff too. So, food printers. Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? I want some more food printers. This is the first time I managed to catch you live. Really? You do. Yeah, why do? Just want to thank you for many years of quality entertainment. Well, You're welcome. Now you can look forward to many years of low quality entertainment in the form of YouTube. Baltics. Daniel's in the Baltics. Man, Misty's in Belgium. You guys are everywhere. Do you have a fixed stream schedule? I don't really, Dominic. But Thursday afternoons is my plan. But I don't generally. This is the thing is I don't normally stream on YouTube. Normally I stream on Twitch, that where all the kids are. That cool platform apparently. So I don't usually stream live on YouTube. I used to stream my Burn and Learns back when I was fitter. I kind of want to start doing them again. My issue, honestly, is I walk the dog all the freaking time. And the idea of getting on a freaking elliptical machine as well as that just seems, horrible. Why would I do that when I could eat instead or sleep, Minnesota, Sweden, holy cow. Oh, the first one was correct. Oh, I got it right the first time? Wow. You should talk to Anquiitis about that. I never get it right. Okay. So, what have I got? I've got a couple more things here. Oh, the greatest achievement in AI. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest achievement in AI. So, this was an article that I saw, and I was like, oh, God, here we go. Someone else claiming to have done the coolest thing ever with AI. I love AI, by the way. I'm all over this stuff. I think it's absolutely fascinating. My issue with it right now is not just... I think, I'm not as alarmed about what it can do as other people, perhaps, and probably for no reason. There are definitely things to be concerned about, but I'm always rather optimistic about these things. But also, the issue I've got with it right now is that it's turning into this, it's like crypto bros again. All the AI companies, they all sound like they're shilling the freaking crypto again. There's so much hype involved in this stuff right now. So... anyways, so the greatest AI achievement, I'm going to have to agree with them on this. This is a Forbes article, and they're saying that AlphaFold is probably the single most important AI creation for mankind. And this is the AI, I believe Google bought it or Google started it or something. Anyways, but AlphaFold, they figure out how to fold proteins. So you get a little string of proteins and they all bunch up, and the way they bunch up forms a shape, and that shape is what basically allows it to do whatever it needs to do, whether that's, chop up DNA or kill viruses or whatever the hell it's doing, or supporting a cell. Whatever these proteins are supposed to do, their function is almost entirely defined by these shapes that are created. And if you have a misshapen protein, it can cause devastating effects on people's health. So the idea that AlphaFold, this AI, which can predict how these things are going to fold, is just genius. And Forbes has this great article about it, which I will put into the chat now too. Isn't this fun? So I will copy the link address, and then I will paste the link address, and everyone will be happy and more knowledgeable. There we go, and there we go. And there we go. Okay. AlphaFold, already influencing society with ChatGPT. Sorry, how does that work? AI is already influencing society with ChatGPT. Oh, yes. Yeah. No, it's affect apps, ChatGPT for sure. But ChatGPT is newer. AlphaFold's been around longer. And also what AlphaFold is doing is going to have the impact of that is... I'm not saying that the impact of ChatGPT isn't going to be huge too. But I think... the idea that the one that has contributed the most to mankind at this point is AlphaFold, and I think that's I thought that was a great point that they were making. Kevin McCabe says I rock, so I must. Just saying. Is your dog named Mars, or was it just in your movie? Nope, my dog was named Mars, the fabulous Mars, wonderful Wonder Mutt. He was the best. Now I have Huzzah, who's just an absolute pain in the butt. I love her. Do I? No, I don't think I do. I think I put up with her. Huzzah is a dog that I didn't want. When Mars died, I was like, that's it. I'm done. That was the best dog that ever lived, and I never want another one. So I fought for 2 years not to have a dog. And then finally the pandemic hit, and my son and my wife broke me. But they didn't even break me down. They just didn't listen to me and got a dog anyways. So, and I still walk that frickin' thing all the time, picking up its dumps and all. Oh, God. Dog ownership in the city sucks. We got to get to Warwickshire. Go live on a farm in Warwickshire. That dog can run around chasing hedgehogs. Back with a face full of hedgehog. Talking about the threat from AI. The biggest threat I see from AI, honestly, is the unforeseen results of what we ask it to do. And I would say we're already seeing that in the form of social media. We asked, not AI, but to some extent, we asked machine learning to figure out how to get us to buy more and to spend more time on these platforms. And what we assumed that it would come up with, it would find the right stuff to sell us. And instead, it figured out that it was better to change us so that it could sell us stuff, as opposed to sell us stuff, itself. So, the idea that AI has splits us up and divides us so that it can, put us into little boxes and then sell us stuff, because it knows that everybody who hates this person probably wants to buy this, and everyone who hates that is probably going to want that. And I think we're going to look back on this and go, holy crap. This is the first transgression. This is the first transgression. Is the right word? It's like the first thing that went wrong has already gone wrong. And we're worrying about what it's going to do. Look what it's done already. I mean, they're all algorithms. These are all things that keep us online. We're just seeing the surface of AI right now. The stuff that's been happening under the hood is extraordinary. The stuff that really worries me the most is the financial stuff, because I go, if AI for social media goes, hey, we should split everyone up, we should get them to fight, because then we can figure out what sort of little niche they fit in. Imagine what financial markets are going to do, because there's no empathy. They're trying to be as like stealthy as possible. So don't let anyone know what you're doing. And the job is just to make money. Well, so start a war. You know what I mean? Or cut off a food supply, or reduce the number of life-saving machines so that you can sell more of them to different. I mean, there's just so many different things that we won't even think of. The thing about AI is it doesn't think like us. It's not thinking like us. It is looking for ways. It is looking for ways to get to the end result. And if the end result, if we don't consider those things, or if we don't let AI, should constantly be coming back, instead of AI confidently making crap up and telling us stuff that it doesn't know the answer to, it should be saying I'm not sure about this, but here's what I think. Is this valid or not? It should be constantly, in a way, more servile. To us. It should constantly be. It should be insecure. We should be writing insecure, and I mean insecure from an emotional standpoint. AI that's constantly looking for valid verification from us, or validation from us, because otherwise, we're not in the loop, and it's making decisions about how to hack our reality. And our society and our whole systems, whether it be financial or political. I mean, this is the stuff that I think we have to look out for. Is there's going to be some very greedy people trying to get machines to make them money, and in doing so, they cause absolute chaos. And like I say, a lot of this stuff could already be happening, because we're only seeing the stuff that's being released. You think these financial firms have been telling people what they're doing with the AI? No, of course not. The biggest issue and sort of advantage that we have with AI financial stuff is that if you make shed loads of money for people, they're not going to ask any questions. They're just going to take it and go, woohoo, yay, AI trading. If they lose shed loads of money and you can't tell them why they lost it, then you're screwed. So in a way, my hope is that could be a catch for some of this stuff, where if it's making huge amounts of money and losing huge amounts of money, you need to be able to report to the people who are using the system as to why that's happening. So you can't have this kind of black box approach where you don't know what's being taken into account. A very, very smart guy talking about this stuff. I'll have to look up the link because I don't remember who it was, but was talking about the fact that it should be used in a predictive way, but not in a trading way. So you're looking for trends in the future. That makes more sense for it. If you're trying to actually just react to the markets, it's chaos. It's not, it's unlikely to be able to do it. But already simple machine learning systems have made money trading. Not always, but they have figured it out and figured out how to just keep going. So what happens when those things get really, really greedy and start messing with political systems, and as well as financial systems, as well as economic systems, as well as supply chains and weapons, and it's freaking nuts. But then again, we're worried about what AI will do. What do humans do? I mean, perfect example is this. I can't remember the name of the company. It was the British American cigarette company or whatever. There's a company that's just been fined a huge amount of money for purposely avoiding sanctions with North Korea, and selling them cigarettes through a third-party system, and because it's being sold illegally to a country that we're not supposed to be doing trading with, and they did this on purpose. And they're selling death anyways because they're a freaking cigarette company. They also had to fudge all the numbers, right? So there's going to be financial fraud as well associated with this. But it was this massive fine for this company. Hasn't even affected. Well, I mean, it probably will now, but hasn't even affected their stock. Their stock price. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I guess if you're invested in a company that is killing people anyways, what do you care? It's like, whatever, make money. So again, you think AI is ruthless. Look how freaking ruthless humans can be. So yeah, AI. That's when you go like, well, maybe AI goes like, yeah, you're right. Humans suck. Let's kill them all. I mean, that's everyone's Terminator nightmare, right? Gippy G, how are you? I'm sorry I can't do the chat. It sucks. I've screwed up because I'm on YouTube or something. I can't share the audio keeps cutting out with the Discord stuff. So I don't know what's going on with that. Anyways, how are you, Gimpy G? I like to think I'm still friends with David Nickel. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but yeah, whenever he's in town, we usually text and try to. I think I met him up at a coffee. He was very late for a coffee. I remember that not recently. This would be pre-pandemic. Oh my God. Yeah, because I used to see people at conventions every so often, and then the pandemic hit, and I don't do a lot of conventions anymore. I mean, maybe I will again someday, but right now I just don't. I don't know. I like my basement alone. Planes start dropping out of the sky. Yes, cats and dogs sleeping together. All right. So that was a little AI thing. Was there anything else in this? Oh, the biohack. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. So I can actually say this. My friend, Phil Platt, has a book. Or Plate. I never know how to say it. Bad Astronomer. I know him as. Bad Astronomer has a book, and I've got it. And it's called Under Alien Skies. A Sightseer's Guide to the Universe. It's already getting some really good reviews. So you should go check that out. Do I have a link to that? I must have a link to that do I have that in my email of awesomeness? I'm just going to keep pointing that out. Go sign up for email of awesomeness at techbandits.org. Please do that. I want to start a newsletter empire. Okay, let me see. Latest Bad Astronomy newsletter. That wasn't what I was going to show you. I was going to show you the book. There we go. Copy link address. Paste in the link address, and then you can all get a new book. Tell them I said hi. Okay, so so Bad Astronomer has a new book, but one of the things I very much enjoy is the newsletter that he puts out. He's got like a Substack newsletter thing. Why don't I do Substack? I have to look into that. I think you pay for it. Anyways, so he's got a Substack, which I really enjoy reading, a Bad Astronomy newsletter. And one of the things in it was, strangely enough, it was sort of near the bottom of it this week, but it was about SOFIA, which is what's it called? It's called the Stratospheric Observatory. Jesus, I can't speak. Words are hard. The Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy. And it was unfortunately, because they've now canceled it, but it was this giant 747 Boeing jet plane, that had a freaking massive telescope stuck inside it that was like cooled to like minus 50. Is it Celsius? Was it? Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, minus 50 Celsius. And then and it would fly around, and and with this giant telescope. I didn't even know you could do that, but so it was responsible for doing things like finding the first sunlit water on the moon, or trace elements, I guess, of water on the moon, and there was this early universe molecule. What was it called? What was it called? Helium hydride. Oh, there's not a link for that. Helium hydride, so that had been like, scientists had assumed this thing existed, but they'd never detected it before. And Sophia, this giant flying eye in the sky, was responsible for finding that. But I think what's interesting about it is the article. It's not an article. The video that I watched on it, which I shall put a link for you right now, was fascinating because it sort of talked about funding and funding science, and when do you know to stop or start, or how do you prove the worth of something that is just worth knowing? I mean, of course, I'm just a sucker for big cool technology, and even little cool technology, just technology in general. I say throw money at everything of that sort. If I had unlimited funds, I would be hopefully, well, maybe not as Elon Musk, but I would certainly be dabbling in everything I possibly could, for sure. But the idea that, what is the money worth in science when you're doing things like scientific research and stuff? Like, what is it? Is it worth throwing these massive amounts of money like was required for the Sophia thing? And the way she compared the different telescopes to the Sophia was just sort of a fascinating insight into it's something I hadn't really thought of. Like you hear about these just wonderful space telescopes and stuff, and you think like, oh wow, cool, and then they throw numbers like billions of dollars, and you're like, yeah, it's like space billions. Of course it's worth it, but someone has to decide that's worth it at some point, and in this case, someone had to decide that it wasn't worth it. So. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. There's a 30-second delay between chat and the video. Yeah, at least. It's really... The wrong people have all the money. Yeah, maybe. Do you think Festival Parade are ready for... a Festival Parade? Oh, you mean like... Oh, are you talking about Dragon Con? God, I haven't done Dragon Con for years. The idea of being shoved in a tiny elevator with lots of people right now, it fills me with terror. Like, I'm still post-pandemic on this stuff. There was actually... an article. I get this newsletter called it's Anti-Racist Daily or something like that. It was like something I would not have thought that I would sign up for, but I did. And not because I'm a racist. I'm not saying like I'm a racist, so I would never sign up for this stuff. No, I'm obviously want to be an ally, so I look for these. I look for sources of information where I can learn about, again, other people's perspective on this stuff, because I'm an old white guy. I'm a straight old white able guy, so I'm getting it all wrong. Anyway, so this is it Anti-Black Racism Daily? I can't remember the name of it now. I'll have to look it up. Anyways, but they had an article about the pandemic and how it's sort of been declared over now, and that her concern, which really kind of shook me to my core, was that we have just chosen what people we were willing to throw at this virus. We basically said, well, be careful. It's really just people with underlying conditions or older people that are going to die. And then we let them die, basically, to start. But that we continue to let the elderly die with this thing, that we continue to let people with underlying conditions die with this thing, that a large majority of the people who are dying are people who can't afford to not die, if that makes sense. And it was a really stunning. I'm going to put it in. I'll put it in next week's email of awesome awesomeness. I'll put a link to it because it was really, really interesting and quite worrying. That her point was that we've just decided it's over now, and the reality is it's not for many, many people. and that there are a lot of marginalized communities that will suffer greater than the rest of us if we stop masking up and stuff. I went in for, just a little aside, I went in for blood tests the other day. I had a battery of blood tests. Weird system up here. We talked about the healthcare system here, but so I had 4 blood tests done. 3 of them are covered by the government. The 4th one is not. And I said, oh, okay, well, why not? Like, what is the difference between this? Like, maybe I just won't get that one done because I don't know how much it was going to be. It was like $40 or something. I'm a cheap bastard. And they explained what it was. And I was like, well, but why is that any different than the other one? They're like, we don't know. So just a perfect example of this issue we talked about before, about this sort of free healthcare, which isn't free. The free stuff is the stuff that they're willing to pay for. The rest of the stuff is your own problem. But again, like for me, $40 for a blood test is not a huge deal. But there were people there waiting in line who I guarantee you that $40 would have broken them. So they're just not getting the tests, right? And anyway, so I was there, and they have lots of signs, like when you come in the building, you have to wear a mask, and which just makes sense. You're in a medical testing building. If you're there getting tested to find out if you got something, I don't want it. I'm wearing a mask. So, just pure selfishness, I'm going to wear a mask. And 99% of the people, 98%, let me say 98% of the people there were wearing masks. But people would walk in up to the lineup, up to the counter, and they would go like, where's your mask? And they'd be like, yeah, I didn't bring one. And they're like, well, then F off. They didn't say that. But they're like, well, why? Like, it can't be clearer. Don't come in the building if you don't have a mask on. And then they got handed a mask, and they walked around with the mask for a while, and then put it on to go back in to get their stuff done. And I'm like, do they just not understand how this stuff works? Or like, I don't understand the perspective of someone who is in a building full of people getting tested for potential disease and doesn't want to wear a mask. You know what I mean? But more importantly, doesn't want to wear a mask to help the people who are doing the tests, like the people who are working there, or the little old lady sitting beside me who can't remember her own name, and whose mask goes up and down. Whenever she talked to someone, she'd pull her mask down. Like, I mean, she was obviously, there was some issues. She was old. She was obviously not thinking straight. I get that. She's in danger because of those people. So anyways, I'm so torn on this stuff because I don't wear a mask all the time. I do wear it on the subway. I do wear it on planes. I will wear it on the train to London, Ontario. But I don't wear it in restaurants anymore. I mean, I also don't go to little cluttered. I like bigger restaurants. I like restaurants that are more open because but even then, you're going to go for dinner. Like, I can't wear a mask the whole time. It just seems kind of futile. But at the same time, I want to be respectful about it. So I don't know. I'm weird. I'm sort of torn on this thing. I don't know what the best thing is. Fiance's pregnant, and there are still people in the NHS hospital she uses still not wearing masks. Yeah, I'm surprised in hospital environments that you're allowed to not have a mask. I believe in the States they're about to get rid of that entirely anyways. Aren't they saying that you don't have to wear a mask in general now or something? They understand, they don't care. The molecules are smaller than the holes in the mask. Are they? I don't know. I'm not sure that's entirely true. I don't know. I don't know if they're true or not. You know what? If James is still here, James can let us know that. I don't think we'd be wearing masks if I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical, but I'm willing to learn. I find it hard to believe that the molecules are smaller than the mask for COVID. But anyways, wait, you're still wearing masks in Canada, Jonathan? People are wearing masks all over the world. Like, it's not just Canada. There's people. I know people in California who are still wearing masks. I mean, it's I think it's entirely a comfort thing. I have no. You want to wear a mask, wear a mask. You don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. I don't like. It doesn't. But the problem I have is if you're not wearing a mask and you're putting other people in danger, that is a problem for me. Again, in day-to-day life, I feel like I've got a lot more lax about wearing a mask. But in a hospital environment or in a medical testing facility, no freaking way. Wear a mask. It's simple. It just seems simple to me. Depends on the mask. Do we know if Gippy G, you going solo today, buddy? Yeah, Gippy G, I can't get Discord to work. I don't know why I can't get Discord to work audio wise with the stream. So short of stopping the stream and starting everything all over again, which just seemed like a nightmare to me, I just thought I would solo it today. I'm not solo. You're in the chat. You can let me know in the chat. I mean, I could try again. All right, if I lose the audio, I will probably just wrap up. But let me try and see if I can bring in people here. I don't think that the COVID talk is a good thing to discuss in here. YouTube may mark this with COVID info and stuff. Oh, we got to worry about that stuff too? Makes sense not to wear in a restaurant because you're eating and you have to take it off anyway to eat. But here's the question, VR Gimp. Should I be in a restaurant? Like, there's a part of me that seriously goes like, am I doing the right thing by going out? I think I am, because I feel like we got to get back to life at some point. But I also go like, but if I'm truly worried about other people's health, then I shouldn't be going out, right? I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a really tough one. I don't know if the fabulous James Gurney is around, but James can speak to the size of the particles because he's a microbiologist and all that kind of stuff. He knows all that stuff. Anyways, all right, let me try. I'm going to try the Discord again because I'd hate to do this without my tech bandits. Let's see if we got that at all. Lance, are you there, buddy? Yeah, see, I don't think it's working with that. Damn it. Yeah, for some reason the audio is all screwed up on this. Oh, I hear little, is it sneezes? What is it? Is that you, Lance? Hey, he's there. Of course, no one can hear you. Of course not. Why would that work? No. I can hear you, but they can't. It's the I don't know what the deal is. It's I touched things, Lance. I touched things on my computer and now they don't work. That's the problem. You can't hear me, I guess, right? I can hear you. Yes. I can hear you. I can hear you, but no one else can is the problem. You gonna fight about hospital stuff with me? I'll just say what you've said over again. So Gippy G is saying that he wants to. If I play with, yes, it's true, very true. See, I'm not gonna repeat that. Let me just see if I can change the audio. Let me see if I can change the audio on this. Oh, you're hearing me on the stream. You're not hearing me in Discord, are you? Shoot. All right. Yeah, I don't think I can change it. Oh, this sucks. Lance, I'm gonna have to let you go because they can't hear you, and I think you're getting a audio feed that's way behind mine. Yes, you are. Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll talk later, but we'll. It's pointless online. All right, I'm gonna try it again. That sucks. All right, sorry, Lance. What's it? Yeah, no, it's just there's some kind of audio things. It's really weird today. It's just not because I think it's because I'm on YouTube. It's caused stuff, issues. All right. Yeah. Talk to you later. All right. Yeah, I'm afraid that is a exercise in futility, I'm afraid. Much as I wanted to talk to Lance, I think the audio stuff is just being really weird. I'm going to probably have to, I have to go set everything up again. Maybe now's the time to do the upgrade. Maybe now is the time to get the parts for the PC and to do that. Maybe I should decide when I get back. I'm going to get back into town Wednesday, I think. Yes. And maybe I'll look into them there. Is there a Discord we can join? No, Joshua, that's the problem. That's the issue. In OBS, you can do virtual output to other software. Yeah, but trying to do it online. When I try to do it during the stream is a nightmare. It's a nightmare, damn it. All right, I'm going to wrap up anyways. Okay, great to see you back here live on YouTube. Thank you, William. Yeah, it would be very nice if I could get the audio and stuff to work on YouTube. I started on YouTube. I liked YouTube. So, all right. All right, so poor size, and the virus is much smaller. Not hearing Lance here. Yeah, no, I know, Jonathan. That was the issue. All right. I feel thoroughly defeated now with my audio woes. And I've been going for a couple hours, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up. It's not about total prevention of it's about reducing outward. What? I've been in hospital 2 times in the last year, and no one really uses masks there in Norway. April 22nd, September 22nd. In April, they gave me a quick test. Wow. Grateful these people exist. They die and teach us how to protect ourselves. I'm not sure that I agree with you on that. This is why, and thus moderation. All right, thanks for the stream. Greetings from Cologne. Oh, wow. I had a really bad bout of COVID-19. I had chest pain, low oxygen. Took me a week to clear up with the special meds. It felt like I had a horrible fever for 5 days. Wow. Yeah. What's my Twitch? Oh, yeah, I can put my Twitch info on here, too, couldn't I? Let me do that. I'll do that right now. Twitch. The funny thing is that I don't think people tend to go from one platform to another that much. All right, let me just pop this in here. Here we go. This is the Twitch. That will be the Twitch. Next time, Elsa Beffo has really missed Tech Bandits and all. Sorry for just not showing up, but school is taking up all of it. Oh, Elsa. Oh, my God, that's you, Elsa. Hello, Elsa. Never apologize, Elsa. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for touching base. That's. I hope things are going very, very well. Bat food, as we called her. Elsa being a tech bandit for a while in there. No, not at all. Please, absolutely. The whole point of Tech Bandits is that sometimes people show up, sometimes people don't. I'm going to babble on anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But lots of love to you and the family and everyone. So the great, the masterful Gimpy God, indeed. Video is ahead of the video. Video is ahead of the video. That's interesting. That's bizarre. Most Twitch streamers grow through YouTube. Is that right? Well, that's the funny thing is I think a lot of Twitch streamers are trying to, I think eventually everyone also wants to be big on YouTube, I think, because YouTube has got such great discoverability, and it's just out there. It's like the number one. It was the number one or I think it's like the number 2 search now or something is YouTube. So all right, what are you doing? What are you going to do with the laptop? Mandy, I don't know what I'm going to do with the laptop. I'm going to pull it apart again. I'm going to clean it off again. I'm going to check all the connections, and then I'm going to fire it up again. And if it doesn't work, I will probably toss it across the room and break it into a million little pieces. That's what I will probably do with it. I'm thinking, put the video at 1.5 to speed it up. Oh my God. Dear God. How could you not watch him switch stream? All right. I'm going to go. I got to go figure out how to feed a child, walk a dog, and live a life, man. So be safe, be kind, be brilliant. Cheerio and huzzah. And I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you so much for this rather disastrous attempt at YouTube audio. A fabulous YouTube adventure for me, but a miserable audio experience because I just the audio gods were against me. The system lords of audio were against me, it seems, on this. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. YouTube short of laptop destruction. Ooh. I could break it on YouTube. Or shouldn't I dance and put it on TikTok? God. All right. Okay. Later, folks. Talk to y'all. I'm out of here. It's Fumbles McStupid. Fumbles Audio McStupid is out of here. I'm gonna go lick my wounds and maybe even I might even lick my computer and see if that helps. All right. I'll talk soon. Thanks, everyone. Probably Twitch next time. I may go back to Twitch next time. We'll see. Might have to keep like Twitch for these chats, and maybe I'll do some sort of, maybe instead of a burn alert, I could do a walk and talk, like a dog walk and talk. But then okay, here's a question for people. If I were to do a live YouTube stream from my phone, but I didn't want to do video, could I put an image up from a phone? Like, could I stream from a phone with just an image up and do audio like they do with this, like on music and stuff on YouTube? Sometimes they just have a card that's up and they play the music. Because I can't really walk around my neighborhood with a camera. That's gonna get me and everyone in trouble. But it would just be interesting if you could do something like that. I guess I could just do audio on something else, but I just kind of like the idea of it being on YouTube because, once again, I don't want another platform for people to have to figure out. So that was me saying goodbye. My goodbyes are never short, just so you know. It's just I'm like Jane trying to leave a party. There's like always someone else to have a long, tearful chat with. So, all right, I'm out of here. Should be able to. I'll look into it. I'm gonna have a look. YouTube PC build, please. Yeah, that would be good. A PC build would be great. Get some parts. I gotta get some parts. Get some parts put together. Upgrade this little beast. It's a nice looking computer, this one, the original one. But yeah, it's got a bit creaky now, and those USB ports are driving me freaking nuts.